Hey everyone, hope you're doing good, hope you're doing safe. Today's focus here is going to be marketing. So everybody, welcome to episode number 5 of Karanology. So, as usual, my wife is going to be the voice of this episode too. So over to you, Payal. What's the first question for today?
The first question is by Ashish. I am in a traditional retail business which has been there for 3 generations in a tier 2 city in India. Our business has mostly run on word of mouth. We want to grow. What is the best marketing strategy for us?
So, Ashish, first of all, let me tell you that I'm going to be very honest with you, okay? Word of mouth, according to me, is not marketing. The fact that you've been surviving so long for word of mouth is great, but let's understand what is word of mouth. Word of mouth is basically you're getting business because of word of mouth, because of your goodwill, which means that because your customers are your patrons, because your customers are satisfied, they're spreading the word for you. But I want you to understand, there is no control over word of mouth. You don't have any control about what your customers saying about you, and you don't have any control whether they're going to talk about you or not, because it's not their job. For you right now, and especially today's time, those days are gone where you can just sit in your shop and wait for the customer to come. You got to be proactive. I repeat, you got to be proactive in your marketing approach, where you got to go out there, reach out to your potential customer, show them that you have what they're looking for so that they come to you. That's what I mean by proactive. So here's my suggestion. If you're in retail businesses, go online. I'll tell you why. What you need is visibility. Now let's look at traditional methods of visibility which were offline. Retail businesses would put out pamphlets, would put out hoardings, would put out advertisements to create visibility so the customer knows that you have something which they could be interested in. The same thing can be done online, where you go on various different social media platforms for you to gain that visibility, for your customer to establish credibility for you, and so that they come into your store and they buy from you. You can do videos, you can do blogs, you can do offers, so that it actually gives your customer a reason for them to come to you. So, and that's the approach you should take. Bottom line, create visibility, establish credibility, do all varieties of content out there on Facebook, on Instagram, and all these platforms where your customers are available, and give them a reason to come to you so that you can increase footfall by giving out offers, by giving out discounts which can be utilized under your marketing budgets. So that's for you, Ashish. Hope that's helpful to you. So Payal, what's the second question for today's episode?
The second question is by Deepa. Being a motivational speaker, I have been doing content marketing on IG to reach out our target audience. But the kind of engagement I get is pretty low and don't know if it will yield any results. Should I change my strategy or should I stick on?
So Deepa, the fact that you're doing content marketing right now on IG, which is Instagram, keeping in mind that you're a motivational speaker, is great. But I need you to understand that every platform works differently, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's TikTok. All of these have different methods and different ways of representing content, and what works is different for every platform. So if your engagement is weak, let me first talk to you about that. I don't think you should change your strategy. I think you should retain what you're doing, but you got to also evolve it to add on to what you're doing right now. Doing content marketing is like hygiene. And let me explain to you what is hygiene. Hygiene is like you taking a bath every single day, or you brushing your teeth every single day. Very, very critical. So you don't do it based on your moods and fancies. You do it no matter what. But the question to ask is your content adding the right kind of value to address the pain points and the needs of your target customer? That's something you got to consider, because usually when engagement doesn't happen is maybe because the content is not exciting enough. Apart from that, if your content is exciting enough and you are still, and even though you're adding value, you're not getting the kind of engagement, it's probably because your CTA or your call to action is not strong enough. You need to give your customer or the potential viewer of your content a reason to engage with you, either in the form of a comment or in the form of a question, etc., etc. So use multiple methods, videos, posters, all that is good, but use all the other tools and options available for Instagram. For example, use stories, use polls, use Q&As, use carousels. That's the new thing which is happening right now, which is creating a lot of engagement, and give a powerful reason for people to engage with you. But over and above that, sometimes even though you have a powerful CTA or you have great content, it may not be that all your potential viewers, because of your reach, may like your content or share a comment. So you need to create another platform for people to have something strong enough to engage with you. For example, have a webinar where you can market it on Instagram, and all the people who are viewing you can come to your webinar where they can actually gain proper value from what you teach. And that's, I think, a great strategy for you to ensure that you get proper engagement. Do lives. Lives also a great way for you to get engagement, so that you have an opportunity to really see if your viewers are viewing your content or it's just something which is out there on Instagram and just floating away. So come up with something engaging based on what I just shared, so there's a proper mechanism for you to engage with them, and that's how you create more engagement. I hope that was useful for you, Deepa. So Payal, what's the next question?
So the third question is by Snehal. I am an artist and have always wanted to commission my work. I have been showcasing my work at art exhibition and making a decent income through them. The COVID-19 crisis had made me realize that I need to start thinking of other forms of marketing. What do you think my first strategy should be?
So Snehal, I think you've got it bang on. This entire situation of COVID-19 has taught us a lot of lessons, has shaken a lot of business models, and no doubt you got to innovate and you got to come up with different methods of reaching out to your target audience. So you were doing really well when it comes to exhibitions before. Let's understand first what used to happen in exhibitions. You had a counter, a stall, you would display all your artwork, and obviously that exhibition would promise a lot of footfall coming in so that they can have an opportunity to view your artwork, and if there is some sort of an interest for your customer, they would buy. Why can't you create that online? Because today your target customer can also be online. But for you to make sure that you have the right target customer viewing your work, therefore a lot of activities needs to happen online. So go out there on platforms like Facebook, like Instagram, and ensure that you are educating your target customer so you have the right kind of following based on the content you're putting out there. And the target customer depends on who's going to buy your artwork. It can be different kinds of target customers. It could be B2C or it could be B2B as a channel partner, no problem at all. But you got to put out content out there which will give your target customer enough education for them to help them to make a decision or be a lot more interested in your work. And along with that, you should showcase a lot of your work like how you would showcase in an exhibition. It serves the same purpose. But you got to also focus on building a brand, because the more you work on your branding, the more visibility you get, which basically means that more people see your work. And then I think you should be focusing on building communities, because when you start building a community, it will ensure that the right kind of target audience who is actually interested in your work will become a part of your community. And then when you showcase your work to these communities after you've built a brand, it becomes a lot more simpler for people to buy your products. So I think that's a different strategy you can adopt for you to showcase and exhibit your work in an online platform, just like how you're doing it on an offline platform. The objective remains the same. Please remember this, an exhibition is a marketplace. Even online platforms and communities is a marketplace. The key is to make sure that you have the right audience in the right marketplace, so you have an opportunity to show them how your product is valuable. And that's about it. So I hope that was value for you. Payal, what's the fourth and last question for today's episode of Karanology?
The fourth question is by Dipankar. As a content creator, someone suggested that I start putting across my work on YouTube to spread my knowledge and build a brand. But wouldn't that just be a needle in a haystack kind of situation? What do you think, and what approach do you think I should take?
So here's my thought, Dipankar. Needle in a haystack, I'll tell you what, you got to be there no matter what. And just because your competition or other content creators are there doesn't mean you've got to go find a different platform, because obviously these platforms are limited. Today, it's not about which platform is more effective. Today, it's about being omnipresent. And I tell you, what does omnipresent mean? You got to be everywhere where your target audience is, whether it is online, whether it's offline, whether it is social media platforms, whether it is other apps. Wherever your target audience is, you got to be there. And especially if you're a content creator, I think YouTube is a great place for you to put your content out. Just remember that every platform has a different purpose, and every platform content should be represented differently. And if your content is educational or infotainment or entertainment oriented, then YouTube is a great platform, because longer videos will definitely work, and you start getting a subscriber base for people to view your work and subscribe to you. YouTube, according to me, is like a TV channel. Let's understand how TV channel works. You know, the more TRP, the more popular and the more money you make. YouTube works the same way. If your shows are good and obviously you get a lot more audience, it's like your TRP increasing, and therefore YouTube as a TV channel will broadcast you a lot more. So it definitely would make a lot of sense going out there on YouTube. But remember that it's not about just using one strategy. I believe it's always important for you to be on multiple platforms so that you're creating the right kind of visibility, creating the right kind of credibility, and having the same kind of reach. All of them eventually will cross-pollinate and will help you to spread your word and get the same kind of visibility. So that was for you. Hope all the insights which I gave you in this episode was quite useful for all of you. I really want to look out for all the kind of challenges which you're facing in business. Share your challenges. What kind of challenges you're facing in marketing? What kind of challenges you're facing when it comes to your business model? What kind of challenges you're facing with your team, with your leadership, with your team's performance, with the sales of your team, with the operations of your team? I have a variety of experience to share, a variety of insights to share, and I would love to hear what challenges you're facing so I can give you some valuable answers. In the meanwhile, stay safe, enjoy your week ahead, and I'm going to see you in my next episode of Karanology. See you guys, take care, bye-bye.